Welcome to Australia's biggest child safety lesson, proudly brought to you by the Daniel Morecambe Foundation. I'm Coco and this is Finn.
Hi everyone. Australia's biggest child safety lesson is all about giving you the personal safety skills to help you look after yourself and each other.
Today's lesson will look at enthusiastic and affirmative consent. Enthusiastic and affirmative consent is permission that has been truly, freely, clearly and wholeheartedly given without any boundary being blurred or crossed.
We'll explore some real-life scenarios being role-played by students here in the studio. This is going to help us understand what enthusiastic and affirmative consent is, why it's important to know the difference between consent and enthusiastic and affirmative consent,
how to set your own boundaries and recognise when they are being blurred or crossed, and how this can impact your personal safety, as well as how to respect other people's boundaries.
We'll also look at having conversations with your safety team when you need help and how they can help you stay safe.
You're watching ABCSL!
Now, before we get started, it's important to understand why the Daniel Morecambe Foundation brings us Australia's biggest child safety lesson. And we have a special guest in the studio today who can tell us why it's so important. Bruce Morecambe. Hi Bruce, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, look, it's great to be here.
So Bruce, can you tell us what the Daniel Morecambe Foundation does?
The Daniel Morecambe Foundation help kids to stay safe by giving them the skills to recognise, react and report unsafe situations. We provide a whole range of keeping kids safe resources to give kids skills to help them recognise unsafe situations. Our son Daniel felt safe at home. He felt safe at school and going out with his friends. But Daniel found himself alone in an unsafe situation and unfortunately, he got tricked. Our goal is to help kids like all of you watching today to build your confidence in asserting your body boundaries. We want to help you recognise unwanted and unsafe situations and stay safe. You are the boss of your own body. It's important to remember, if you feel unsafe, you can talk to an adult on your safety team. Your safety team are people you trust. Could be your parent, carer, teacher, friends, parent, coach, or the police. They will believe you and you're going to be cared for.
Please thank Bruce.
Remember, from your toes to your nose, nobody goes, your body belongs to you.
Consent can be a very complex concept, and we've been looking at the different aspects of understanding how we are in control of our own bodies and the ways that we can keep ourselves safe. In last year's ABCSL, we learnt that consent is getting or giving clear permission to do something. It's an agreement between two people. And legally, consent does mean free and voluntary agreement.
Absolutely, Coco. When we see each other, we check in before we do anything like this. Hey Coco, how you going?
Great, Finn. You?
Awesome, I just found out I got the DJ gig.
Yes, that's unreal. Congratulations.
I'm trying to stay chill.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I asked and waited for you to give consent before trying to hug you. You said yeah and gave me permission.
You might be wondering, what is the difference with enthusiastic and affirmative consent?
Remember, enthusiastic and affirmative consent is permission that has been truly, freely, clearly and wholeheartedly given without any boundary being blurred or crossed. Consent can get blurred and boundaries crossed very easily. Sometimes boundaries can begin being blurred quite slowly, then escalate quickly into being crossed.
Boundaries are being blurred when someone is trying to confuse, pressure, rush, trick, or even force you to give consent and do something you're not sure about.
And boundaries are being crossed when someone does something that invades your personal or body boundaries without your consent.
Sometimes you might give consent when you don't really want to. Enthusiastic and affirmative consent is when you really want to do something 100%.
That's it. What I should have done before was listen, watch and check that you truly wanted to hug. Like this.
Hey Coco, how you going?
Great, Finn. You?
Awesome, I just found out I got the DJ gig.
Yes, that's unreal. Congratulations.
I'm trying to stay chill.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, okay.
Are you sure?
No, not today. How about a high five instead?
See, just because I'm excited for you doesn't mean you want a hug.
That doesn't mean I'm not happy that you're excited too. Sometimes I might feel like a hug, but sometimes I just prefer a high five. It can change. I'm setting a boundary for what I want to do.
That's right. I need to make sure that I acknowledge the boundaries that you've made and respect those boundaries by not blurring or crossing them. And if you've agreed to do something that you no longer want to do, you can always change your mind.
Consent is when you give someone your permission. A type of permission that you have to give someone is saying yes please, way of saying yes.
Consent is permission.
Enthusiastic consent, you're like yes, and you're like very enthusiastic about it.
People can tell that you're happy and you're excited about it and you want to do it.
When you can make sure that they're 100% okay with whatever it is you're asking.
Their answer is a definite yes or a definite no.
Our first scenario is ready to go. But before we get into it, let's demonstrate how we'll communicate our thoughts on each scenario. Pay close attention when we ask, what do you think?
If you think that consent is true, happy, and enthusiastic, we're all going to shout out and do the Auslan sign for enthusiastic consent. Now guys, can you do this?
Enthusiastic consent.
Enthusiastic consent.
That's great. What about everyone watching? How did you go?
If you see the boundaries being blurred, we'll all shout and sign blurred boundaries like this. Blurred boundaries.
Blurred boundaries.
And if the boundaries are being crossed, we'll all shout and sign crossed boundaries. Crossed boundaries.
Crossed boundaries.
Finn and I will be here to help and let you know some of the safety skills you can use in these situations. You'll notice a teacher pause button at certain points during the lesson. Teachers watching this with your class, this is a good place to pause and discuss what's going on.
All right, now it's time for our first scenario. Take it away, Coco.
Thanks, Finn. Okay, let's join Dahlia and Hayley on their bus trip to school as they navigate how to recognise body clues to set boundaries that make us feel safe and how we can recognise and respect other people's boundaries.
Are you okay?
I've had a bad morning. Doesn't matter, at least you're here now.
Okay, but...
What you listening to? Good tune. Let me sing to you.
I really don't want...
Okay, let's stop for a minute. Can you see what just happened here? What do you think? Did Hayley get Dahlia's consent? Everybody? Cross boundaries.
Boundaries.
Great work, everyone. Hayley didn't ask if she could use Dahlia's headphones, and she definitely didn't ask if she could put her leg on her. Dahlia's body language was clearly showing that her boundaries were being crossed. Hayley wasn't hearing or seeing that Dahlia was uncomfortable. Let's see what Dahlia was thinking.
I was worried about Hayley when she got on the bus, but then she started being really pushy. I don't like people touching me and taking my things, but I didn't want to upset Hayley. I tried to say something, but I felt nervous about it. My stomach felt funny and my palms got all sweaty.
You might let something happen or agree and say yes when you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or when you feel rushed and don't have time to think straight. Sometimes you might not recognise straight away that your body clues are telling you that the boundaries of consent might be being blurred or crossed. When someone is trying to confuse, pressure, rush, trick, or even force you to give consent, they are blurring your boundaries. If someone does something that invades your personal or body boundaries without your consent, they are definitely crossing your boundaries. Let's see what happens now.
What's wrong? We're friends. Friends do that all the time.
But I didn't want to.
But you didn't say no.
I didn't get to. You didn't ask me if you could put your leg over me.
I know, but I really like you and I want to be best friends. And best friends do that.
Did Hayley blur or cross Dahlia's boundaries? What do we all think? Crossed boundaries. That's right, definitely crossed. You don't have to say no for consent not to be given. Consent communication can be verbal and non-verbal. You should hear and see consent. When you ask someone for consent, make sure the other person has the time to answer and doesn't feel pressured to respond in a certain way. Saying no could be through words like no, not today, or nah. It could also be through body language or cues such as shaking our head, fidgeting, tensing our body, and moving away. Enthusiastic and affirmative consent only happens when the other person truly says, yes, okay, I'd love to. You might also see body language or cues like smiling, thumbs up, nodding, and leaning in towards you. Remember, enthusiastic and affirmative consent is only truly given when the other person is really into doing what you are asking. Hayley might be starting to understand.
Oh no, I think I might have crossed Dahlia's boundaries. I feel so bad. I was angry at my brother and wasn't thinking about her feelings. I just want Dahlia to like me and be my friend. But I know it's not about what I want to do. I need to respect other people's boundaries. I'm really sorry, Dahlia. I should have asked if I could use your AirPods, and I definitely should have asked and waited for your answer before I tried to put my leg on your lap. I didn't take notice of the body cues you were giving me. You didn't give me your consent, but I did it anyway.
Thank you. I'm glad you realised you always need to ask for and get consent if you want someone else to do something.
Can we still sit here together?
Yes, of course, but we just don't need to sit so close.
Okay, cool. Do we talk about a movie we both like?
Yeah, I watched Kung Fu Panda last night. Did you see it?
Oh yes, I absolutely loved it.
What a great outcome for Dahlia and Hayley. They found a resolution they're both happy with and checked in with each other out of respect for one another. What do you think this might be? All together? Enthusiastic consent. Yes, consent was enthusiastic and freely given. Always remember that clear and direct communication is important for both sides of the consent conversation.
ABCSL.
Next up, we'll see how well this group of friends respect each other's boundaries. Watch out and see if you can recognise whether true, enthusiastic and affirmative consent is asked for and given.
Oh, that is funny as. You're so funny, Harry.
You should have seen your face, Luca. Okay. Who's next?
My turn. I'll pick truth.
Tell us the truth. Do you like Harry?
Oh no, that's not fair.
Yes, it is. Now tell us.
Yeah, tell us. Do you? Do you?
Maybe.
Then I dare you to kiss him. Kiss me twice on the cheek if you do like me.
No way.
Do it. Do it.
Come on, it's just a little kiss.
I think we all know what happened here, don't we? All together. Blurred boundaries. Yes, Hayley's boundaries were definitely blurred. Enthusiastic and affirmative consent has to be given without fear and without being forced to do it.
I suppose it's just on the cheek though, right?
Yeah, sure. Come on. One here.
Oh yeah, that's one.
Then one here.
No, stop. You said the cheek.
Wow. Hayley might have gone along with the game, but I don't think she's having fun anymore. What do you think? Were the boundaries of consent crossed? Crossed boundaries. Absolutely. Hayley's personal and body boundaries were crossed. You can't trick people into giving consent. Let's check in with Hayley and see how she's feeling.
That was horrible. I didn't want to kiss him at all, but I didn't want them to call me chicken either. And I did like him. It's my fault. I shouldn't have played. My body clues were telling me something wasn't right. My heart was pounding and my hands were shaking, but I didn't feel like I could say no.
It's definitely not Hayley's fault. Sometimes it's hard to work out what to do, but listening to your body clues can help you make decisions. You might say yes and agree to do something when you're feeling pressured, even when you don't want to. But you can always stop and change your mind. Remember, your body belongs to you, and no one, including adults, should ever make you kiss, hug or touch them or someone else. And no one should kiss, hug or touch you without your consent.
I feel bad because I actually really like Hayley. I know I shouldn't have tricked her, but she said she could kiss me on the cheek. I didn't think it'd be a big deal to change it to the lips.
You should never push or pressure anyone to do something. That's not enthusiastic and affirmative consent. If a person has set a boundary like Hayley did, you should regularly check in and make sure that they are clearly saying yes to anything you want to do. This is the only way to make sure you are truly getting enthusiastic and affirmative consent.
Harry, you shouldn't have done that. Hayley said just on the cheek. You should have respected that and not crossed her boundaries.
I know. Sorry, Hayley. I didn't think about what you wanted at all. You said you liked me and I thought it'd be funny. I should have asked you if you wanted to kiss me on the cheek, not dared you, so that you could say no if you wanted to.
Thanks, Harry, but you need to give me some room.
I'm really sorry I upset you, Hayley. I will definitely make sure that I check in from now on.
That's great that Harry can see he crossed Hayley's boundaries. When you are asking for consent, take notice of the other person's body cues and listen and respectively hear their answer. If they're not really keen about what you want to do, they're not giving enthusiastic and affirmative consent.
Enthusiastic consent looks like this.
Smiling at the person, nodding your head.
Positive body language and emotions.
Expression like a big thumbs up.
Maybe yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
Like blurring the boundaries, grooming or sus behaviour can confuse you into consenting to do something even when you don't want to. Groomers may make you think you have given consent by tricking or coercing you into agreeing to something. This is not consent. Let's see how Dahlia and Hayley use their safety skills of recognising body clues and how they react to them in an unsafe situation.
I'm really excited about work week. It's going to be so much fun.
Me too. I can't wait to see us dressed up together. Look, I found some great Alice in Wonderland earrings. Want to get some?
Oh, they're cool. I'll ask Mum. Who's that?
That's Marcus. He's a guy my brother knows from soccer. He's been helping me with my maths homework.
He looks a bit older than us. Why is he sending photos?
Oh, we send silly photos to each other all the time. Anyway, it's just between us, so no one else knows.
Wait, what?
Why? What's wrong with that?
Have your body clues told you something might not be right here? Mine have. I think Hayley's might be too. Marcus is definitely blurring the boundaries. Blurred boundaries.
Boundaries.
Boundaries can begin being blurred quite slowly, then escalate quickly.
What sort of photos do you send each other?
You know, we pull silly faces, sometimes our dogs. Sometimes he asks me to show what I'm doing or wearing.
Oh guys, what do we think? Blurred boundaries.
Boundaries.
Oh, he shouldn't be asking you to do that. Did you ask your brother if they send each other photos?
Marcus said not to. It's okay. He says all of his friends do it.
I think that's a bit sus. Maybe you could talk with one of your safety team.
Maybe. He sent me this photo from the bathroom and he wants me to send one back. I'm not so sure now.
He has no pants on. You should really talk to a safety helper. They can help.
I can't. I already sent him one of my undies. But he said I might get in trouble if I tell anyone.
That's so sus, Dahlia. He's trying to trick you. Trying to make you think he knows everything because he's older.
I think we all know what that is. Crossed boundaries.
Boundaries.
Someone who is grooming you may try all sorts of tricks to get you to do things you might not want to do. They try to make you feel special by giving you a lot of compliments or gifts, and they might try to make you keep secrets. They'll try to make you think anything that happens is all your fault. It is absolutely not your fault. Remember, no one should ever show children their private body parts or photos of their own or someone else's private body parts. That includes body parts that are covered by undies and singlets, like nipples, buttocks, vulva, vagina, penis, anus, or testicles. They should also never ask you to take or send them photos of yours. No one should send these photos to anyone, not even your best friend. It is never a safe secret and it is never okay.
Oh, I feel sick. What am I going to do? What if he shows my brother?
We need to get some help. Is there someone in your safety team that you could talk to about it? Or you could call Kids Helpline. They can help too.
I suppose I could talk to Miss McGrath. She's helped me with my school stuff before, but I don't want to get in trouble.
It's not your fault, Dahlia. This Marcus guy shouldn't be trying to get you to do this.
There is nothing embarrassing about being tricked. Hayley is being a great friend to Dahlia, helping her recognise that Marcus is sus and is trying to trick her into a dangerous and unsafe situation. Hayley helped Dahlia recognise and react to her body clues and get some help. If something like this happens, stop talking to the person and talk to your safety team. They'll be able to help you. Remember, it's important to trust your body clues and instincts if this happens.
ABCSL!
Everyone needs support sometimes. Kids can find it hard to talk to adults, especially if they think they might get in trouble. If you don't feel safe or something has happened that made you feel unsafe, it is not your fault and never too late to ask for help.
Dahlia went to her safety helper, Miss McGrath, who helped her report Marcus to the police at the ACE, the Australian Centre to Counter Child Exploitation.
Let's take a look.
I thought he was being friendly, but he said all of his friends do it.
It's not your fault. He tricked you into doing something that you really didn't want to do. And I'm so glad you felt safe to tell me about this. Thank you for trusting me.
Safety helpers will support you in staying safe or getting help. You might say, I have a problem, can I please talk to you? Or, I feel unsafe, can I please talk to you?
Safety helpers should always listen with kindness and care. If you don't feel safe or ready to talk with one of them just yet, you can always call Kids Helpline on 1-800-55-1800 at any time, any day. You don't need to tell them who you are. You can be anonymous. Kids Helpline is a free online and phone counselling service for all kids, available anytime, day or night.
I wasn't sure I should tell.
You did the right thing. No one should ever show children their private body parts or photos of their own or someone else's private body parts. No one, including adults or friends, should ever ask you to take or send them photos of yours. It is never a safe secret and it is never okay.
Yeah, Hayley reminded me that it's not a safe secret and I should tell a safe adult and on my safety team.
And you know, if I wasn't here, you can go to one of the other safety helpers. They will listen to you and help you too.
Yeah, I know.
Would you like me to give you a hug?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, that would make me feel a little bit better.
Don't worry, we'll get it sorted out. The main thing is you are safe and we have stopped Marcus from contacting you.
I'm so glad Dahlia went to Miss McGrath. Dahlia recognised that something wasn't right. Her body clues were a reaction to feeling unsafe. Reporting what was happening to one of her safety helpers was important so that she could get help.
What do you think about Miss McGrath asking Dahlia if she wanted a hug? That's enthusiastic consent. Yes, it absolutely was enthusiastic and affirmative consent. Miss McGrath asked, waited and double-checked with Dahlia that it was okay to give her a hug.
Don't forget, if your first safety helper can't help you, go to another safety helper. Persevere until one of your safety team helps you.
My safety team is my mum, school counsellor, your people that you trust,
My grandparents and the police.
My safety team is my parents. One of your friends' parents.
teachers on duty, and Kids Helpline.
Wow, Coco. We have learnt there is a lot to consider to make sure that consent is truly, freely, clearly and wholeheartedly given without any boundary being blurred or crossed.
We sure have, Finn. Just remember, enthusiastic and affirmative consent is when someone really wants to do something, 100%. And if you're not sure, ask again.
Thank you for watching Australia's biggest child safety lesson.
Enthusiastic is fantastic, boy, it's absurd. Cross can get lost when consent is the word. Boundary